Hi everyone, I just want to say thank you to Jessica for asking me to present in Maine for our demonstrator meeting and on the social media marketing presentation. I have changed my presentation just a little bit around, but I would recommend that you print out the little paper that I have attached. It's a PDF and you can print it double-sided if you're paper conscious like I am. Let's dive right in. I am a gold title demonstrator from Dracut, Massachusetts, and I've been a demonstrator for 13 years. I live in Massachusetts with my husband Brian and my daughter Alexis. On the weekends, you can find us camping or even at the local karaoke place because I love to sing and I play a few instruments. So before I dive in, I thought that it would be best to tell you how I use my computer to help customers. I set up all my events in Constant Contact email marketing program, and I use their events system to send out my events to my customers that have signed up for classes before. Once I start with an email, I will copy and paste that email into my blog to pin it. I never blog without pinning it because it's a good way for you to funnel people back into your business that might be interested in your style. Then I use Facebook in two different ways. I have a customer group where customers and friends can engage and share what they're making in their art rooms. And I find that I have the most interaction on this page. And then I have a business page where I can post my classes, my events, and any outgoing things that I might want them to purchase. So I use my group as a community and I use my business page for the business side of things for the most part. When Jessica asked me to first talk, she suggested that I talk about all the ways that I use social media. And really, I have to start with my beginning, which was the email piece of it. So starting about 10 days or more before a class, I will set up my email or my event in my Constant Contact, and I announce it via email, social media, and my blog 10 days before the event. I will send a reminder email 3 days before the cutoff, which is usually a lot of my classes fall on a Thursday. And then I remind them the day before my cutoff, if I have one, that it's time for them to come to class. Most of my people respond at that last time, so they've heard from me 3 times. I'll also say that I used to spend a whole day putting a newsletter together with all kinds of content and articles, and people were reading the first paragraph and deleting the rest. So in this day and age, I have learned to stop doing long newsletters, and instead I break them up into a short message of what I want them to read for that day. So I might send them a free project on a Friday, or I might send them a reminder to sign up for a class, but either way, I only do one topic per email. I've learned that less words are actually more effective when talking to people via email. They'll read a paragraph or two, but then you may lose them if you put too many words in your email marketing. If you're afraid that you might have people unsubscribe for sending too many emails, keep in mind how many emails a day do you get from Amazon. I probably get 1 to 2 emails a day sending me information about things that I might be interested in. Usually those things are helpful, and crafting emails are something that I'm interested in, especially if they are sending me content that I'm interested in. So don't be too nervous about sending an email. So I did my classes, I paste them from Constant Contact. I also blog on Tuesday mornings with Casing Tuesday. It's a group that cases the catalog once a week. And then I use Pinterest to funnel. So if you look at the address that's at the bottom of this that I copied in the picture, it is the address to the actual post. So if you choose to blog, it's good to stay consistent. So although I don't blog every day, I definitely have a blog post every Tuesday for that Casing Tuesday. I also blog any classes that I have going on or events. Um, Sometimes I'll blog something that requires something more that has more words than a social media burst with a photo. Or if once I've done my Facebook Live for the week, I download it and I upload it to YouTube, I can also share that link on my blog as a social media post, and it will filter people back to YouTube so that I am covering multiple ways to reach new customers. So cross-posting is pretty important. Next, I want to share with you my social media marketing schedule. This is a checklist, and again, it's in that PDF that I gave you as a printout, and I'm not really rigid on how I use this checklist. If something happens on Monday that's supposed to happen on Thursday, I cut myself total slack and I check it off the list. As long as I've done all of these things in the course of the week, I feel pretty accomplished with my marketing schedule. So on Mondays, I typically announce which product I'll be featuring on my video on Tuesday. I email any class reminders. Monday's also the day that I spend training my team, and I have a few training clients that I talk to one-on-one. So that's the day that I schedule all of those, and I don't like to do business training and creative day on the same day. I like to keep them separate from my brain. So that's why all of that businessy stuff goes on Monday. Tuesday morning, I am ready for my live video. It's at 9 a.m. every Tuesday. And then right when I get off that video, I do a live video to answer any Q&A from my team if they have questions for me. Anything from how to price a class to why a certain thing isn't available or whatever they have questions on, I address on Tuesday mornings right after my live with my customers. Then I go back to my customer video app that I've also shared in my group. It's always, I post my video on my business page and I share it to my customer group. And I respond to comments on both sides of that fence. And I do that for about an hour or an hour and a half, and by noontime on Tuesday, I shut the computer down and then go about my day with the rest of my stuff, whatever else is going on there. I used to do my videos on Fridays, and it just wasn't working out. We go camping a lot, and we would be leaving and packing up on Friday morning, and I wasn't getting to it, or I'd say, we'll see you next week. And honestly, I have found that you gain a following when you do something consistently. So every single Tuesday at 9 a.m., if I'm not feeling good, if I'd rather not do it, I get online and I do something. This morning, or at this past Tuesday morning, we had construction people out front, and it was very distracting, and I just did it anyway. I didn't boost that post. I do sometimes boost my videos for $5 so that people will see them, and I use that feature in Facebook, and I typically boost to people who like my page, or to people who I think will like my page, or people who are interested in Stampin' Up! Across the United States, because that's where I live. So Wednesday I go back in and I finish following up and responding to comments on those videos, and then I start to post photos. So things that I did that involve that stamp set for the week, or projects that I made on Tuesday afternoon time, that all follow back to that video. I post that stuff, and then I'll announce any specials from Stampin' Up! Or just call attention to what Stampin' Up! Is offering. I don't necessarily have a special every week as an online demonstrator. I find that it doesn't work for me, so I do them when I need a boost in my business. I might offer 5 free cards, or 10 if they place a $50 order. Or I use the hostess benefits to reward them to place another order when I happen to need it. But I respond to comments all the way through the week. Thursday I kind of had trouble with when I was new to this, so I'll come back to that and we can talk about it. Friday, I usually give some sort of tip of the week, how to use the product that we've been doing. I used to create an elaborate graphic, and I was finding that it wasn't working for me. So sometimes I might just snap a picture, and I could even combine that with an interactive post. And on Friday, I also email my customers a free project sheet for anybody who subscribes to my email page. Again, all of these things work better if you can keep consistent with whatever you choose that your marketing plan is going to be. So I had trouble with Thursday. So these are some of the things that I say, and when I'm done with this list, I can go back and repeat it. So I'm placing an expedited order today. Does anyone need anything? If I happen to be doing that on a Tuesday, I don't have to do it on Thursday. I can move my schedule around. But email me your order, message me your order, text me your order. Reminder to place an order for this week's product, the Petals washi tape, whatever it happens to be. Last chance to reserve your packet for class on such and such a date. How about, did you love this week's video and need to get your washi tape? I have an order going in today. So these are all things that you can say that aren't pushy. It's just, let me help you get this awesome product that I showed you. Do you need me to place an order for you? So once you've given them the call to action, you may want to give them a tip. These are some examples of tips that I have given for the product of the week. So look at this adorable ship wheel, how when you color it with the soft suede blend, it matches the other metallic. Or line up your paper on the new line on our embossing folder. But you can see how these examples can really help you and your customers know to just go use up their stuff. For those of you that know me personally, you know that I'm always joking around. An interactive post can do that with your customers without selling to them. Once a week, you can post something that's completely oblivious. It doesn't have to be stamping related. It helps your page get noticed by more than just stampers. It could make people laugh, teach them something, or it could ask them a question like, do they like the pink card or the blue one? This particular post got a lot of action on my page this week talking about dimensionals. I always overuse dimensionals, and when I was making this card, I just snapped a picture. It doesn't have to be over the top. In fact, some of my best ones were fruitcake or no fruitcake. Go ahead, leave me a comment on this video and tell me if you like fruitcake or not and why. I am much more likely to visit a page that interacts with me and makes me laugh and happy. Before I ever teach a concept to someone, I want to make sure that I have some working knowledge of what I'm talking about. So instead of telling you what I think you should do to grow your social media presence, I just gave you what my plan is. So the next step for you would be to create your own plan. How often do you want to work your business, and who are you trying to reach? I can tell you that this week, my little old ladies that I teach a class to once a month up in New Hampshire all purchased the bundle that I showed last week on my social media video. In fact, only one of them has Facebook, but they get together after my Facebook Live and they watch the video together every week. It kills me. I love that they're using social media that way. I didn't expect it to reach them. But the social media schedule that I have is designed for me. It can be done ahead, and it can be posted and scheduled ahead. Once all of my stuff is done on Tuesday, I can make all of those cards and I can schedule them to post on my business or on my group page every single day. While I'm away, I can set it up to go out automatically. My thought process for you would be to craft your plan around your life and availability. It can be whatever you want, as long as you get consistent and intentional about what you want it to do. And finally, I'll say, if something isn't working, don't be afraid to change it. My videos used to be Friday mornings, and it wasn't working. I wasn't doing them. Does it fit your life? If it doesn't fit your life, it's time to make an adjustment. It's not for everybody, but it's okay. It's for a lot of people, and it's hitting people that I never anticipated that it would. Anyway, if you're worried about doing a Facebook Live, all I can say is just do it. Don't overthink it. Point the camera at yourself and try it. I'll give you some tips here in a minute, but try the one that only you can see. There's a button to do it. I'll show you in a second. Before you start a Facebook Live, hit the little lightning bolt. I'll show you that in a minute. And then when you're done, download the video to your computer and upload it to YouTube. There are 3 little buttons on the side of your video, and you can click to download. Once you do that, you have to click to download again, and it will download to your computer, and then you can upload to YouTube. And then you'll have content in both places and widen the swath of people that you can hit. You know, I have customers that aren't on Facebook that watch the playback of my Facebook Live on YouTube every single week. So that works out pretty good. So once you've done your Facebook Live video, you click the kebab menu. Did you know that's what it's called? The 3 little dots up in the corner. And then you click to download the video. Something happened in Facebook recently, and now you actually have to click a second button to get it to actually download. So you click the download menu, and then it just brings you to this blank screen showing you your video. You have to right click on a PC or 2-finger click on a Mac to get it to download video. So you just choose download video from the drop down box that you get when you right click. So now that we've gone through all of that, I have a few more tips for you on presenting if you're going to try out a Facebook Live and it makes you nervous. So first of all, I will say I have a clip. This clip clips onto anything. I built a box here in my studio. It's up there. I could show you after, but it's just a box. It's nothing big, but it clips on like this, and it points my phone, which holds on to this, towards the table. So there's that way. Or sometimes if I'm just having a chat with my team and I don't need to clip facing down, I use this one, and it's just Amazon. I think it's like $10. But if you get really, really stuck, there's one other option, and you may have one of these in your house already, an elastic band and a telephone. As long as it doesn't interfere with the camera, you can clip it onto almost anything, and you would be ready to go to do a Facebook Live. So with that, let's pretend that we're going to do a Facebook Live. I'm going to go into my phone. I figure this might be the easiest way to show you how to do it. So I'm going to go to my phone, and here I want to make sure that I am in where I want to be. So first, I'm going to go to Stampers with Heart, which is my team page. And I'm going to click the little button that says Live. Okay. And then the first thing I always do, click the brightness button. So that brightens me up right there quite a bit, and you can actually see me. And then there's this little magic wand button. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to go down here to the toolkit. If you ever want to be live and you want people to be able to see the writing on your shirt, for example, because right now I'm backwards. So I would click the little toolbox and then click this button here. So there's the toolbox and then the button here. And this flips the screen backwards so that you can see when you were talking face to face that the writing on my shirt is going the right way. And that's really it. That's all I do before a live. And sometimes I will put a title in. Now, if you are very super nervous about presenting on a live, there's a couple of other things that you can do. You can go into the top of the post. I'm sorry that I was off the frame there for a minute. Let's see. You can go into the post and make it just so that only you see it. So I'm going to click off, and I'm going to click back into that post. And here I can choose at the top who sees it. And I can even schedule it to go out later. I don't know if you're catching that. I hope you are. It looks like a big bright white screen to me. There it is. So I can schedule it to go later, or I can cancel and say who it's going to, and I can change it so that it just says me. And it's easier to do it when you're right on your phone, but do it before you go live so that you're not nervous, and then put it in your clip and you'll be ready to talk to the camera, and it's a lot less stressful that way. If you want to practice first, you can make it just so that you see it, so that if you're bumbly like I can be sometimes, it won't be a big deal. Facebook Lives are not about being perfect, so honestly, be yourself, and I'm sure that they will all love you. So thank you so much for watching until the end of this video, because this is the end, and I hope that I've given you some ideas on ways that you can grow your social media business. You don't necessarily have to do all the things I do. You could pick one and add it to your calendar weekly. Be consistent about it. And when you've got your arms around that one, if you want to add something else, pick something. But get it on the calendar and do it religiously. Schedule it ahead of time, and you'll be set up for success. Thank you.